Hi, this is Brian with the Snow and Ice Management Association. I'm here with Chad Oberson with out of Cincinnati, Ohio. How's it going, Chad?
Pretty good.
Good. And how do you know, if someone were to come back and say, well, that treated stuff, it's more expensive, or the liquids that you're treating it with is more expensive. How do you justify that expense? Are you just getting that much performance using less salt?
Well, I don't bill by the ton. I bill the extreme circumstance, like I said before, that one customer that wants it just always black and wet. Mm-hmm. Now that's a different story, okay? Mm-hmm. But that's not the normal customer. The normal customer over here is like any customer. They'd like to see it plowed every 1.5 inches. So if we have a 8-inch storm, you're going to be able to plow it 3, maybe 4 times in a storm. That's what they would expect if it's during a day when they're open. But the bottom line is my customer and the market down here, they pay for the salting. They don't pay for the salt per ton or per time. Sometimes they pay for the year even. Mm-hmm. So on my yearly accounts, it's so beneficial for me to use treated because I don't have to use much product.
Right.
And you don't have to go out all the time because the residual's there.
The performance is that much better. It's worth it.
Yes, the residual is the biggest thing that people have to understand. I'll have to go out and drive 10 minutes to a job site if I had regular salt. But since I have treated salt, unfortunately, we have a category in our billing system called inspection, and most people still get an inspection every day. It'd be really rare if they didn't get inspected. If any day it's below 32 degrees, our company goes out and does inspections every day on pretty much every property. About 95% of them have inspections.
And you bill for that?
That's billable. Yeah, right. That's a service that's billable.
Okay, so
it's cheap though. When I say billable, you're talking minimal dollars.
So, and when you're selling, are you selling that as sort of we're proactive? We're going to go inspect your property to make sure everything's safe. Are you pulling that into your sales process when you talk to folks?
I do, not a ton though. It's not a huge advantage like some people might think. Some people actually think, well, if you're going to inspect every day, doesn't that get expensive?
Right.
So it's not. Yeah, you have to balance it out.
And it's making it easier for you to manage those properties, and you're not letting the accumulation build up, and obviously managing the liability side too. Then
yes, yeah. A lot of it, a lot of times it's just you're going in and those piles have melted the day before, and boom, they got a little runoff from them. And it's all the way out in the back of the parking lot where you put the pile. So usually there's no car there anyways.
Sure.
So you're putting very, very minimal product down, but you still have to address it just for liability concerns and documentation reasons.
So, and you mentioned that your family's involved in the business. So your sister?
My sister is. She does dispatch. She runs out of Cleveland.
Does she really?
Yeah. She runs out of her home in Cleveland. She answers all the calls.
Seriously?
24/7.
You just forward all those calls right to her number? Or?
Yeah. If you go to if you call into our main number, 513 Nursery, it'll go into press option 2 and goes to snow emergency dispatch. They press that and it'll go to her, and
that's awesome.
She knows where everyone needs to be, and she'll call that person.
Does she just have a map out on the computer or something, and she's just watching where everyone's at, or everyone's checking in with her? Or?
No, she knows where. Okay, our accounts are so large.
That's a big question.
Our accounts are so large that we don't leave. It's not like we go.
So you have dedicated teams on each
every
one,
so on every site.
Okay, right.
I mean, we have 141 sites.
Do you really?
Okay, and we have
141 snow accounts.
We have 141 just snow accounts, and out of those, you're looking at very few, if any, kind of we come and go from.
Sure.
We kind of stay there the whole time, and we have.
Well, that makes it easier for her on a dispatching because she's not worried about routing people between sites and stuff.
We have no travel time.
That's
you
awesome.
Hear people say, "Oh, we got stuck in a storm." We don't ever get stuck in a storm. We got to be there before the storm starts.
Right.
But once the storm starts, we're at the site and we don't ever leave.
And now
we stay in.
Are these all subs, or you're all in house? Did you say?
No, I am. Actually, I'm not in house that much, really. I own all the pushers, and then all the equipment is subbed. I'm a real big believer in 16-foot big loaders for the kind of accounts I have, and I struggle with the small account. That's not my deal. If Walgreens came to me and said they wanted me to do 50 Walgreens, I couldn't do it. That's not my business model. But if you're a big distribution center, or you have an office park close to the one I'm already doing, or another office park with 10 buildings in it, we would,
pop in and do it.
We would
just add it onto that
Yeah, I mean, an office park, you probably be able to put 2 wheel loaders in there and they never leave.
Right.
So, you get that big of a site. But that's kind of my little niche of how we end up doing it. It worked good for us. It doesn't work for everyone, but it works for us.